I see this all the time. A guy thinks a girl is totally into him from just one small gesture, only to realize later that he completely misread the situation. Or on the flip side, a guy completely misses the subtle signs that a woman is actually interested because he's only looking for the obvious things. If you're new here, hi, I'm Courtney Ryan, and in this video, I'm going to break down the most commonly misread signs of attraction. The ones that every single guy needs to know. And I'll tell you exactly what they really mean so you can stop guessing and start seeing things more clearly. The first most misread sign of attraction is smiling and laughing at what you say. One of the biggest signals men tend to misread is when a woman laughs at their jokes, even the not so funny ones. It's easy to assume that if she's laughing, she must be into you. But the reality is, most women laugh or smile as a way to keep the conversation light, to be polite, or simply to make the interaction more comfortable. From a woman's perspective here, women are often socially conditioned to smooth over those awkward moments with a smile or a laugh, which can unintentionally come across as flirty. And this is why context is so important. A polite smile is not the same thing as romantic interest. So ask yourself, is she laughing at everything, including the guy next to you, or is her focus mostly on you? Does the laughter feel paired with genuine engagement, like leaning in, asking you questions, or playfully teasing back? Or does it seem more like a default social response? Smiling at everyone in the room is very different from giving you repeated, direct attention. The key takeaway for this one is that attraction isn't usually shown through just laughter. Genuine interest reveals itself in sort of patterns: consistent engagement, curiosity about who you are, and little efforts to keep the conversation going. So don't take every smile or laugh as a guaranteed sign of attraction. Instead, look at the bigger picture. When laughter is combined with other behaviors like prolonged eye contact, following up on what you've said, or playfully finding reasons to keep talking, that's when you can take it as a stronger signal that she's into you. Noticing these subtle signs really highlights how much our brains overanalyze, not just in dating, but in life in general. We all deal with stress, overthinking, or moments where things feel overwhelming, and it can be hard to sort through it all on your own. Sometimes it just helps to have a space to pause, talk things out, and gain a clearer perspective. That's where today's sponsor, BetterHelp, comes in. A therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you see things from a new perspective. They can give advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. BetterHelp makes starting therapy simple. Just fill out a short questionnaire and you'll be matched with a licensed therapist in as little as a couple of days. If the fit isn't right, you can switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, it's a platform people trust. You can click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/CourtneyRyan to get 10% off your first month. Therapy isn't a sign of weakness. It's a way to take action and gain perspective when life feels overwhelming. Number 2 is social media activity doesn't automatically equal interest. I think this is one of the biggest traps that men fall into today. Just because she views your story, likes your post, or even leaves a comment doesn't automatically mean that she's attracted to you. Social media is designed to be a sort of passive thing. People are interacting with content constantly, and often it has nothing to do with real life interest. Sometimes a woman is just scrolling out of boredom, or she's liking your post because she likes the photo itself, not because she's thinking about you romantically. I think the more important thing to notice here is the quality of her engagement. True signs of interest online go beyond just a double tap. They show up in active communication. Is she responding thoughtfully to a lot of your stories? Is she starting conversations in your DMs? Is she suggesting a meetup in person? Those are much stronger indicators than a casual like or a background view. So my tip here is don't use social media as a measurement of attraction. Use it as a supplement, not a substitute for those real life signals. If her only engagement with you exists online in likes and views, don't overthink it. Number 3, quick replies and texting patterns don't guarantee interest. Texting is another area where a lot of men get tripped up. Quick responses, using emojis, or throwing in a haha might feel encouraging, but they don't always equal genuine attraction. Some people are just naturally fast texters or enjoy chatting casually without wanting anything more there. The real test is initiative. Is she starting conversations with you? Is she asking you about your day? Is she steering the conversation towards personal topics or hinting at plans in real life. A woman who's interested won't just reply to you quickly. She'll actively try to keep the conversation going. She'll be asking you questions. She'll be trying to get to know you or meet up with you in person. So the tip here is to focus less on the speed of her replies and more on the effort behind them. A fast LOL is so easy to do, but consistent curiosity and engagement are what reveal true interest. The fourth thing I want to talk about is that eye contact can be a little bit misleading. Eye contact is often seen as a universal sign of attraction, but it's a lot more complicated than most men realize. Women make eye contact for many reasons: politeness, attentiveness, or simply because they're listening to what you're saying. A quick glance, even with a smile, isn't always a signal to shoot your shot. The difference is in the subtle details. Attraction shows up in that lingering eye contact, playful looks, or body language that mirrors yours. If she's holding your gaze a little longer than normal while leaning in and staying engaged, that is very different from a polite glance during a group conversation. So don't overanalyze a single glance. Look for patterns, repeated, intentional eye contact paired with those other signals like laughter, curiosity, engagement. That's when you can be more confident that she's genuinely interested. And again, just to reiterate, we want to focus on patterns and consistency over those one-off signals or moments. Number 5, compliments don't always mean that she's flirting with you. Compliments are another easy sign to misread. A lot of women give compliments from time to time about clothes, appearance, or even small things like your haircut without it even being remotely romantic. Often it's just friendliness or social politeness, or wanting to be kind, wanting to make your day, seeing something that they like and saying it because that's nice to do, right? I think the key thing to notice here is the type of compliment that she's giving you. A casual, nice shirt is different from a deeper compliment like, I love how passionate you are about what you do. Feel the difference? The first is surface level. The second shows interest in you as a person. When compliments come across as personal, playful, or paired with sort of teasing, they're more likely to reflect real attraction. So always consider the context and the consistency. If compliments are specific, repeated, and paired with effort to keep engaging with you, they're much more likely to mean something deeper. Number 6, close proximity isn't always a sign. Being physically close to someone isn't necessarily a signal of attraction. Proximity often happens because of convenience, like standing near you at a crowded event or sitting beside you at a group dinner. I think the difference here is when proximity is intentional. A woman who's interested might lean towards you when you're talking, angle her body towards you, or find reasons to be in your space consistently. If it happens repeatedly in different contexts, it's less about circumstance and more about choice. So don't assume closeness always equals attraction. Instead, ask yourself, does she choose to move closer even when she doesn't have to? Number 7, subtle testing signals can be misread. Women sometimes test men subtly, and this is another area where guys often misinterpret what's actually happening. A little teasing, a playful challenge, or a joke at your expense doesn't always mean that she's flirting with you. Sometimes it's just banter or a way to sort of gauge your personality on how you react and your sense of humor. Again, just like everything else on my list today, true interest shows up in consistency. If she's testing you but also staying engaged, following up with questions, continuing to joke around with you, it could be a sign of attraction. If it happens once and then she disengages, it's probably just friendly. Don't read too much into a single test or tease. Look for patterns over multiple interactions to understand whether it's genuine interest. Number 8, friendly gestures are not always flirty. Little gestures like chatting one-on-one, tapping you on the arm, doing you a small favor can feel like signs of attraction, but they're often just friendliness, especially if they're one-off. Women do these things a lot in social settings, and it doesn't always mean that they're romantically interested in you. The difference is in repetition and intention. If she repeatedly finds ways to do thoughtful things for you, initiates one-on-one time consistently, or pairs gestures with other signals like curiosity, playful teasing, that's when it's more likely to be attraction. Again, are we noticing a pattern here? Pay attention to those bigger patterns. Friendly gestures on their own are really easy to misinterpret, but when they're combined with consistent engagement, they tell a much clearer story. So here's the bottom line. Men misread signs of attraction when they focus on single gestures instead of patterns, context, and consistency. To get better at reading signs of interest, I want you to remember this. Look at the full picture. Words, body language, and actions all combined together. Watch for initiative. Is she making time for you, starting conversations, or suggesting plans? Don't mistake politeness for attraction. Those quick replies, likes, casual compliments, or friendly gestures don't automatically mean that she's into you. When you start reading the bigger picture instead of overanalyzing single actions, you'll stop wasting energy guessing and start recognizing real interest, which makes dating simpler, less stressful, and way more effective. So guys, that is all I have for this one. Let me know in the comments if you've ever misread a sign of attraction. I would love to hear your stories down below in the comments. And as always, if you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights on dating, attraction, self-improvement. We talk about all that good stuff here. If you haven't already, also be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.